Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Preshnaye Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita shloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 14, text 3. If anyone needs to go first, please raise your hand. Yes, Aditi, Lata Mataji and Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama yonir Brahma tasmin garbham dadyam sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation. The total material substance, called Brahman, is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I am pregnant, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Mataji, my mom will read after two people read.
Okay. Inba Inia, Jai Shri Mataji, Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings.
O son of Bharata.
O son of Bharata.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Vishnu Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation of Vishnu Srila Prabhupada. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings who son of birth. Jai Shri is not involved.
Okay. Isha.
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Krishna Shish.
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Madhava.
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारतः. The total material substance.
Not Bharataha. Bharata.
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, also of Bharata.
Rasapriya.
मम योनिर्महद् ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, also of Bharata.
Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Yes. Priyanka Mataji. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Hare Krishna.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please
Yes,
accept my
Mataji.
humble obeisances, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavah sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, I'll recite Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, text 3. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavah sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, is the source of all birth, source of birth. And it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Yes, Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, the Jaidanos Pranam Chandrashila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yo nirmahad brahma tasmin garbhan dadamiham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyone
Hare
else?
Krishna.
Yes,
Hare
go
Krishna.
ahead.
Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmir garbham didaham
Dadhamyaham. Dadhamyaham.
didamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation: the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all beings. O son of Bharata.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama
yonir
yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham
dadhamyaham
didamyaham
sambhavah
sambhavah sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation: the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, The Advent of Krishna, Introduction. So, the context here is Parikshit Maharaj. Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji.
I just wanted to say that it's my turn to read.
Oh, is it your turn? Okay.
Yes.
So the context here is that Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing the 9 cantos and especially the last 2 verses of the 9th canto, which describe the pastimes of Krishna very, very briefly, he became concerned. He wanted Sukadeva Goswami to describe Krishna's pastimes more elaborately. So therefore, in several verses we saw how Parikshit Maharaj was encouraging Sukadev Goswami to please continue speaking and speak Vistarat, more elaborately. Speak of Krishna's pastimes more elaborately in several verses. In 13 verses, we saw Parikshit Maharaj in various ways making his point why he wants to hear Krishna's pastimes, how Krishna was, what is Krishna's position in his particular life, and also Krishna's position in every living entity's life. What is Krishna's position? And why one should hear Krishna's pastimes? What is the effect of hearing Krishna's pastimes? Who will not hear Krishna's pastimes like that? So in various different, and also glorifying Sukadev Goswami, that Krishna's pastimes in and themselves are very sweet, but when they come from your lotus mouth, they become even sweeter. And how Sukadev Goswami should not be concerned that Parikshit Maharaj must be very hungry and thirsty and tired, so maybe he needs a break. Please don't consider like that. Actually, I don't feel any hunger or thirst as long as you're speaking. The moment you stop speaking, that's when I'm going to suffer. Maybe I'll even die if you stop speaking. So please don't stop. Like this in many different ways, he said. Now, Suta Goswami is narrating the conversation between Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadev Goswami's conversation is being narrated by Suta Goswami to Shaunaka Adi Rishis at Naimisharanya. So Suta Goswami is saying, after saying what Parikshit Maharaj said, now Suta Goswami is saying, hearing Parikshit Maharaj's pious questions, Sukadev Goswami began to, after thanking Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami began to speak in the following way. So now Sukadev Goswami is going to begin narrating Krishna's pastimes. So what we read here is in yesterday's verse. If you look at the verse, so this is Suta Uvacha. एवं निशम्य भृगुनन्दन साधुवादम् वैयासखी स भगवानथ विष्णुरातं प्रत्यर्च्य कृष्णचरितं कलिकल्मषघ्नं व्याहर्तुमारभत भागवत प्रधानः. So Suta Goswami is saying, evam nishamya, after hearing like this, Bhrigunandana, O son of Bhrigu, who is that? Shaunaka Rishi. Sadhu Vadam. Vadam, like, his, generally what is Vada? Vada means like a debate or, right? Like his talks, his questions. So Sadhu Vada. Who is that Sadhu? Parikshit Maharaj, right? Vaiyasaki. Vaiyasaki means Sukadev Goswami. Vyasdev's son, Vaiyasaki. Sa Bhagavan atha Vishnuratam. So Vaiyasaki heard the questions of Vishnuratam. Who is Vishnurata? So this Vishnurata has two meanings. Vishnurata means Parikshit Maharaj, because Vishnurata means one who is protected by Krishna. Vishnurata. Vishnurata has another meaning. One who gives Krishna. Okay? Vishnurata. Then he requested Krishna Charitam. Please, this Parikshit Maharaj said his request was to please speak Krishna Charita. And what is this Krishna Charita? There is an adjective to Krishna Charita, that which qualifies this Krishna Charita. Kali Kalmashagnam. Kali Kalmasha also has two meanings. Kali Kalmasha means the miseries that one faces in Kali Yuga, especially in Kali Yuga, samsara, right? Samsara, dukkha, that one experiences, especially in Kali Yuga. Agnam means destroys. Kalikalma Shagnam. So this Krishna Charitam destroys the miseries of material existence, especially in Kali Yuga. Krishna Charitam is the only medicine that will destroy this the samsara or the sufferings that one experiences, especially in Kali Yuga. The second meaning of Kalikalma Shagnam is Krishna Charitam will destroy the contamination in the form of Kali. What does that mean? So, Kali Yuga has so many faults. Like, Kali Yuga means what? Short lives and Prayen Alpayusha Sabhya Kalavasmin Yuge Jana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadruta. So all these bad qualities you find in Kali Yuga. So Krishna Charitam will destroy all these bad qualities which are characteristic features of Kali Yuga. So Kali Kalma Shagnam means, second meaning of Kali Kalma Shagnam means this Krishna Charitam or hearing of Krishna's pastimes will destroy dirt in the form of Kali. What is that dirt? All these bad qualities. What was the first meaning of Kali Kalma Shagnam? Samsara. Samsara means birth, death, old age, disease. This is samsara. That is called Kali Kalmasha. So that will be destroyed. That means one will transcend material existence by hearing Krishna Charitam. What is the second meaning of Kali Kalma Shagnam? The dirt in the form of Kali Yuga is destroyed simply by hearing and chanting Krishna Charitam. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj is requesting Sukadev Goswami to narrate Krishna Charitam. Bhagavata Pradhana. So there's another word. So Vishnu Radha means Parikshit, we said. Bhagavata Pradhana means who? Again, Bhagavata Pradhana also has two meanings. Bhagavata means a devotee, right? A great devotee. Bhagavat, like you say, Maha Bhagavat, right? Bhagavat means a pure devotee, a first class devotee. Bhagavata Pradhana means amongst all these pure devotees, the chief devotee. Bhagavata Pradhana, that's one meaning. Bhagavata Pradhana means who is the chief amongst all devotees. Who is that? Sukadev Goswami. Why Sukadev Goswami is Bhagavat Pradhana? Because he is speaking in an assembly of all Bhagavatas. Who are all the Bhagavatas sitting in Sukadev Goswami's Bhagavatam class? Vyasdev is sitting. Vyasdev is his teacher, his father and teacher. Sukadev Goswami learned Srimad Bhagavatam from Vyasdev. And now Sukadev Goswami is giving class and his father is sitting and hearing very attentively. He is not thinking, oh, he is speaking my Bhagavatam only. Let me see how he will speak. Is that the attitude? No. All ears, very attentively, Vyasdev is sitting and hearing. Not just Vyasdev. Vyasdev's guru, Narad Muni, is also sitting and hearing very, very attentively. So such exalted Bhagavatas are coming and sitting. Suta Goswami, who is speaking in Naimisharanya to all the sages, he is also sitting there and hearing from Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami is Bhagavata Pradhana. He is Pradhana, he is chief amongst all the Bhagavatas. That's one meaning. And another meaning is Bhagavata Pradhana means a person who considers Bhagavatas to be very important, most important. He may give respect to all people, but amongst all people, he'll give the topmost position to Bhagavatas, the devotees of the Lord. So Sukadev Goswami is such an exalted person that he gives his most respectful to the devotees of the Lord. That is why he is Bhagavata Pradhana. He gives highest priority, first priority, greatest importance to Bhagavatas, the devotees of Krishna. That is why he is Bhagavata Pradhana. You understood two meanings of Bhagavat Pradhana. First meaning is one who is chief amongst all Bhagavatas, Sukadeva Goswami. Second meaning is one who considers the devotees to be chief of all people. He gives utmost respect to the devotees. So he is Bhagavat Pradhana, one who considers a Bhagavata to be most important. So in both cases, Bhagavata Pradhana refers to Sukadeva Goswami. Vishnurata has two meanings. One meaning is Parikshit Maharaj. That means Vishnurata means one who is protected by Vishnu or Krishna. Vishnurata, one who is protected. That means it's Parikshit Maharaj. And the second meaning of Vishnurata is one who gives you Krishna. Who gives you Krishna or Vishnu. Vishnurata. Who is that? Who gives us Krishna? Krishna Charitam. Pastimes of Krishna. When you hear pastimes of Krishna, qualities of Krishna, by that hearing process, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. Of course, that is there. But also, Dharma Projita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrite Kimva Parairishvara Sadyo Hridyavaruddhyatetra Kritivi Shushubhistatkshanam. Very quickly the Lord will come and He will situate in your heart. Whose heart? That person who very, very attentively hears, giving all his attention, hears with utmost respect, who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam. Very soon the Lord will come and sit in his heart. That means this Bhagavatam or Krishna Charitam is the giver of Krishna. When one hears Krishna Charita very attentively, very soon he will get Krishna. Krishna will come and seat himself in the heart of such a devotee. So this is Vishnu Radha. So Vishnu Radha has two meanings. One is Parikshit Maharaj, the other one is Krishna Charita or pastimes of Krishna or glories of Krishna. In other words, Srimad Bhagavatam. So
Also,
now,
Bhagavad Pradhana can give, right?
Of course. But how he gives Bhagavad Pradhana also gives through. How does Bhagavad Pradhana give you Krishna?
By preaching.
So the giver is, of course, devotee. There's two. Of course, Bhagavatas are two. Person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. So book Bhagavat, person Bhagavat, his very life is Bhagavat. He lives, it's like all the personalities that you read of in the book, this personality is like one of the characters in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? He's a personified. Srila Prabhupada at the beginning of Bhagavatam, he gives us the life sketch of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is person Bhagavat and this Srimad Bhagavatam is book Bhagavatam. Both are Bhagavatas. So Bhagavata, Vishnu Rata, one who gives us Vishnu or Krishna. So it is Bhagavatam. Of course, devotee also gives us But here in this shloka, the word Krishna Charitam is used. So we are seeing just like Krishna Charitam, adjective of Krishna Charitam is Kali Kalma Shagnam. That means Krishna Charitam is Kali Kalma Shagnam. Krishna Charitam will destroy the contamination or dirt in the form of Kali, or Krishna Charitam will destroy samsara or birth, death, old age, and disease, material struggles, material existence is destroyed by Krishna Charitam, which destroys samsara, or Krishna Charitam, which destroys Kali, the contamination in the form of Kali. Okay. Now, Vishnu Radha can be Parikshit Maharaj. Vishnu Radha can be an adjective to Krishna Charitam, not adjective. Vishnu Radha can mean Krishna Charitam only. That which gives you Krishna. So Krishna Charitam will give me Krishna, like that. So now with that background, now if we look at this, Evam Nishamya Bhrigunandana Sadhuvadam, Sutta Goswami is telling to Bhrigunandana, Shaunaka and other sadhus, is saying, in this way, after hearing the questions, this is Vadam is questions, Sukadev Goswami. So questions asked by whom? By the Vishnu Radham. So that's one meaning. Questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Then Pratyarcha, offering him respectful obeisance. This is another important point. Sukadev Goswami, when he heard the questions, he is offering obeisances. And then Krishna Charitam, he begins to describe. Vyahartum means he is beginning to describe. Krishna Charitam, which is Kalikalma Shagnam. So, after offering obeisances, Sukadev Goswami begins to describe. Vyahartam is begins to describe. Who is beginning to describe? Bhagavata Pradhana. That is Sukadev Goswami. Bhagavata Pradhana begins to describe. So, Vyasaki and Bhagavata Pradhana both are referring to Sukadev Goswami. Okay. So Suta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, after Sukadev Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasdev, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit. He thanked the king with great respect. So the word Bhagavata Pradhana shows that how respectful he is to the devotees. And of course also here it says Pratyarcha means he offered his respects, right? He thanked and he offered his respects to Parikshit Maharaj. Now Sukadev Goswami is how old? 16 years old. Parikshit Maharaj is much older, right? So Sukadev Goswami, even though he is the speaker, because he is Bhagavata Pradhana, he honors and respects devotees. He is honoring Parikshit Maharaj like a superior. He is honoring him. Although Sukadev Goswami is the speaker, he is the teacher, but he is honoring Parikshit Maharaj like a superior. So he offered obeisances, he offered respects, and then he began to speak. He began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna Charitam, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this Kali Kalma Shagnam. So then yesterday we read about this word Kali Kalma Shagnam, how everyone in this world is suffering miseries of material existence, and then the only remedy to that is Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha means Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And then Bhagavata Pradhana, I explained that also to you, Bhagavata Pradhana. So, yeah, Prabhupada is saying Sukadev Goswami is described as Bhagavat Pradhana and Parikshit Maharaj is described as Vishnu Radha. Right. Yeah. So when both qualified speaker and qualified listener come together, then there is nectar. So text 15, Arunita. Sri Shuka Uvacha Samyak Vyavasita Buddhis Tava Rajarshi Sattama Vasudeva Kathayam Te Yajjata Naishthiki Ratihi.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Sukadeva Goswami said, O your majesty, best of all saintly kings, because you are greatly attached to topics of Vasudeva, it is certain that your intelligence is firmly fixed in spiritual knowledge,
Spiritual understanding.
in spiritual understanding, which is the only true goal for humanity. Because that your attraction is unceasing, it is certainly sublime. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So Mataji, you read yesterday, and Prabhuji
Yeah,
is not
Inya.
there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Inya.
Inba or Inya can read purport. Inba, Inya, Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Krishna Katha is compulsory for the Rajarshi or executive head of government. This is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. Unfortunately, however, in this age, the government power is gradually being captured by third class and fourth class men who have no spiritual understanding, and society is therefore very quickly becoming degraded. Krishna Katha must be understood by the executive heads of government, for otherwise, how will people be happy and gain relief from the pangs of materialistic life? One who has fixed his mind in Krishna consciousness should be understood to have very sharp intelligence in regard to the value of life. Maharaj Parikshit was Rajarshi Sattama, the best of all saintly kings, and Shukadeva Goswami was Muni Sattama, the best of Munis. Both of them were elevated because of their common interest in Krishna Katha. The exalted position of the speaker and the audience would be explained very nicely in the next verse. Krishna Katha is so enlivening that Maharaj Parikshit forgot everything material, even his personal comfort in relation to food and drink. This is an example of how the Krishna consciousness movement should spread all over the world to bring both the speaker and the audience to the transcendental platform and back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah. Okay, so look at the verse now. Sukadev Goswami begins to speak. The previous verse was Suta Goswami speaking to Shaunak Rishi and others. So there he said, in this way, after hearing the questions of Vishnu Radha, uh, Vaiyasaki, who is Bhagavata Pradhana, he offered obeisances and he began to speak Krishna Katha in the following way. So now he narrates what Sukadev Goswami said. So what is Sri Sukadev Goswami saying? Sri Sukha Uvacha, Samyak Vyavasita Buddhis. Very important, huh? Samyak Vyavasita Buddhi. Buddhi means what? Intelligence. So he is actually glorifying Parikshit Maharaj, appreciating Parikshit Maharaj, saying that, and how is he addressing him? Rajarshi Sattama. Rajarshi Sattama. So Tava means your. O Rajarshi Sattama, your buddhi, your intelligence is properly situated. Samyak, it's completely fixed. Okay, Samyak means completely Vyavasita. Your intelligence is properly fixed. O Rajarshi Sattama. Why? Why your intelligence is properly fixed? Vasudeva Kathayam te yad jata naishtiki ratihi. Vasudeva Kathayam. Right? So you have developed rati or attraction for what? Vasudeva Katha, not Katha, Kathayam, right? So plural, Vasudeva Kathayam. You have developed attraction for Vasudeva Katha and Naishtiki. What type of attraction? You want to hear continuously without any break. You want to hear. So after hearing the last two verses of um, after hearing the last two verses of the ninth canto, you wanted to hear more. Not you wanted to, you want to hear more. You don't want me to stop. You heard 9 cantos of the Bhagavatam, but now you want to hear more. So therefore, you have developed such a taste. So therefore, I am saying that your intelligence is completely fixed. Samyak Vyavasita Buddhi. And in that also, what is it that you want to hear? Now specifically we have come to Krishna Katha. You want to hear Krishna Katha. Krishna, this 10th canto is the Ashraya. It is the shelter. The 10th topic. This is the shelter for all other topics of Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj is so eager, so enthusiastic to hear. This shows that your intelligence is properly fixed. You are not distracted by anything else, right? You're not distracted by hunger, you're not distracted by thirst, you're not distracted by the fact that you have been cursed by somebody to die. Nothing, none of these things are coming in the way of your, don't make noise. Nothing comes in your way of hearing Krishna Katha. Therefore, your intelligence is properly fixed. Samyak Vyavasita Buddhi. Tava Rajarshi Sattama. This is also very important. Rajarshi Sattama. So, if you are familiar with Sattara and Sattama, in English also you have positive, comparative, and superlative degree. Just like good, better, and best. Good is positive, better is comparative, and best is superlative degree. So when there is only one, nothing to compare with, then you use positive. So when you say Sat, Sat means a devotee. You're not comparing with anyone else. You're just saying this person is a devotee. That is called positive degree. When you have two people and you are comparing amongst two devotees, you say this is a better devotee. Of the two, this is better. When you say one is better of the two, then there you are using Sattara. Sattara means between two devotees, this one is better. Sattara. Sattama means you are showing a whole bunch of devotees and you are saying this is the best of all the devotees present here. Sattama. So Tama is used as a superlative degree. If you remember previously, a few verses before, when Parikshit Maharaj was addressing Sukadev Goswami, asking him to please narrate Krishna Katha, he said, "Oh, Muni Sattama." You remember? I'll just go back and show you. Oh, best of Munis. See? Yadoscha dharma shilasya nitaram muni sattama. O muni sattama. There, if you remember, sattama is explained. Muni is so there. You remember the explanation? Muni sattama, how it was explained. There are two words there. Muni and sattama is also there. Sattama also, best of devotees. Okay. Sattama means best of devotees. Sat means devotee. Tama means again superlative degree. You are the best of devotees, oh Sukadev Goswami. But also Muni. You remember what is Muni? Muni
Muni
means
means
Sarva.
who knows everything.
Very good. Sarvagyaha. One who knows everything is Muni. So why he is calling Sukadev Goswami Muni Sattama? You are a devotee, not just a devotee, you are the best of devotees. Besides being the best of devotees, you are all knowing. That means you know all subjects also. That means you know dharma, you know jnana, dharma, yoga, everything. And you are a devotee, not just a devotee, but the best of devotees. Now you can establish bhakti as the topmost because you know others and you know this also. So that was the purpose of addressing Sukadeva Goswami as Muni Sattama. You are the best of our devotees and you are all knowing. So now, when it is Parikshit Maharaj's, I'm sorry, Sukadeva Goswami's turn to speak, he is calling Parikshit Maharaj Rajarshi Sattama. Why Rajarshi Sattama? First of all, remember in the previous verse, Sukadeva Goswami is called what? Bhagavata Pradhana. Bhagavat Pradhana. Why Bhagavat Pradhana? Why is he Bhagavat Pradhana? Second meaning. Sukadeva Goswami is Bhagavat Pradhana. Why? Okay. Bhagavata Pradhana because he considers Bhagavatas to be most important. Of all people, he'll give most respect to a Bhagavata. That's why he's called Bhagavat Pradhana. Now that Sukadeva Goswami is calling Parikshit Maharaj, O Rajarshi Sattama. That means how much respect he is giving. Because Parikshit Maharaj is also Sattama. Sattama means he is the best of devotees. But also not just best of the devotees, Rajarshi Sattama. Now you should understand how much respect Sukadeva Goswami is giving to Parikshit Maharaj. By this word Rajarshi Sattama, you are supposed to understand to what an extent, like literally, Sukadeva Goswami is placing Parikshit Maharaj on the topmost position. So he is saying Rajarshi Sattama. He could have said Rajottama. Uttama means best. Again, same superlative degree. He could have said you are the best of all Rajas. Parikshit Maharaj is the emperor. He could have said, O Rajottama. Right? Or he could have said, O Raja Sattama, a devotee and a king, the best of all kings. No, he's saying Rajarshi Sattama. So Rajarshi itself is a big word. One who is a rishi amongst kings. He's a king, but actually he's amongst all kings. He's a rishi, Rajarshi. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj is called Rajarshi, right? Like that. But Sukadeva Goswami is calling Parikshit Maharaj the topmost of all Rajarshis. Just like Sukadeva Goswami is Bhagavata Pradhana. Another meaning is he's the chief of all Bhagavatas. Sukadeva Goswami is giving respect to Parikshit Maharaj, O Rajarshi Sattama, O best of all Rajarshis. Another meaning is Rajarshi Sattama, means both. Rajarshi, one word, and Sat is devotee, another word. And you are the superlative in both. You are the king of all Rajarshis and you are the king of all devotees also. By saying this, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, my dear king, not my dear king, my dear best of all Rajarshis and the king of all devotees. You are the king of all, amongst devotees, you are the king. You are the king of all devotees. Amongst devotees, you are the king. Who is a king? If you have human beings, the leader of all human beings, you call him the king. So you are the leader of all the devotees. You are the king amongst all devotees. and you're the king of all rishis. That means you're the best amongst the rishis and you're the best amongst the devotees. In other words, you called me Muni Sattama, right? I'm the best of the Munis, maybe. But you call me best of Munis, but that is lesser qualification compared to your qualification. You are the king of all rishis and you are the king of all devotees. So he is giving a much higher position to Parikshit Maharaj. So that's what we are supposed to understand when he's saying, O Rajarshi Sattama. This is the intention of Sukadev Goswami. Samyak Vyavasita Buddhis Tava Rajarshi Sattama. And why am I giving you so much respect? Why am I calling you the king of all devotees, king of all Rajarshis? There has to be a reason, isn't it? If Parikshit Maharaj had asked, but what did I do? On what basis are you calling me the king of all devotees and the king of all Rajarshis? Then Sukadev Goswami will say, he's saying, because you're very dear to Krishna. Priyatama, right? Priyatama, you're the dearest. Tama, again, superlative. Priyatama, like Uttama Priyatama, you're the dearest to Krishna. Anyone who is dearest to Krishna, he's the best, he's the topmost person. So now Parikshit Maharaj said, oh, I am the dearest to Krishna? How you are saying I am the dearest to Krishna? On what basis? Then, yes, you are the dearest to Krishna. Krishna personally protected you, right? Krishna personally protected you. He loves you so much. And because Krishna protected you, therefore, you were able to counteract the Brahma Teja. Ashwatthama had released this nuclear weapon, Brahma Teja. Nobody can counteract that. Nobody can counteract Lord Brahma's weapon. Only another Lord Brahma's weapon can counteract it. No one else can counteract. But Parikshit Maharaj was able to survive, even though Brahmastra was released on him, Brahma Teja was released to kill him, he was saved. How he was able to save himself? He was able to save himself, or he was saved because he was very dear to Krishna. This proves that Parikshit is very dear to Krishna. Otherwise, who can be protected from Brahma Teja? Nobody can be protected. If somebody is protected without using any other weapon, means he is so dear to Krishna, and by that power of being very dear to Krishna, he was able to overcome the effect of that Brahma Teja. So this shows that Parikshit is Priyatama. He is very, very dear to Krishna. And anyone who is very dear to Krishna, or the dearest to Krishna, he is Sattama. That's why I call you the king of all devotees. Not only this, that is at the time of birth. At the time of death also, now Parikshit's death is arriving. And at this time also, he is not attracted to merging into Brahman, right? For example, Dhritarashtra Maharaj, how did he at the time of giving up his body, how did he wind up? How did he end his life? He went and merged, right? He didn't actually become a devotee. So, did Parikshit Maharaj think about, like Dhritarashtra Maharaj, oh, now my time is coming, I'm going to die, so therefore let me also meditate on Brahman and finally increase the fire aspect in my body and then, go and merge into that Brahman. Was that his intention? He was not attracted to that Brahma, Brahma Teja. Brahma Teja means effulgence, Brahman effulgence. He was not attracted to that, even at the time of death. So at birth, he was able to overcome the effect of Brahma Teja, that means the nuclear weapon released by Ashwatthama. How was he able to overcome? Because he was very dear to Krishna. Similarly, at the time of death, his mind is not attracted to Brahma Teja or Brahman effulgence. He didn't think of going and merging into Brahman. Rather, his attraction was only towards hearing Krishna Katha. Even in his last days, at every moment, he's only hankering. How you know? From his questions. He's asking Sukadev Goswami, please narrate Krishna Katha more elaborately. He's not distracted by anything else. Forget about leaving home and children and kingdom. That is nothing. He's not even attracted to going and attracted toward liberation, in other words. Right? He's not attracted to liberation. He is only attracted to hearing about Krishna's pastimes. How can one develop this type of attraction? Or if one has this type of attraction, what should we understand? That he is very dear to Krishna. He has Krishna's love. He has Krishna's mercy on him. That's why he is able to have that type of attraction to hear about Krishna. These two things establish the dearness of Parikshit to Krishna, both at the time of his death, at the time of his birth, as well as at the time of his death. That is why Sukadev Goswami is addressing Parikshit Maharaj as, O Rajarshi Sattama, you are the king amongst devotees. Whereas I am just a Muni Sattama, right? I am not so great. You call me Muni Sattama, but what is my position in comparison to you? You are Rajarshi Sattama. In this way, Sukadev Goswami is honoring uh, Parikshit Maharaj like a superior. Even though Sukadev Goswami is speaking, he is honoring Parikshit Maharaj like a superior. Okay. So once again, I will read the translation and purport now. Srila Sukadev Goswami said, O your majesty, best of all saintly kings, Rajarshi Sattama, because you are greatly attracted to topics of Vasudeva, right? Vasudeva Kathayamte Yad Jata Naishtiki Ratihi, Naishtiki without cessation. Because you are greatly attracted to topics of Vasudeva, it is certain that your intelligence is firmly fixed in spiritual understanding. Intelligence firmly fixed means Samyak Vyavasita Buddhis, right? From this, because you are greatly attracted to topics of Vasudeva, this shows that your intelligence is firmly fixed in spiritual understanding, which is the only true goal for humanity. Because that attraction is unceasing, it is certainly sublime. Okay. Then Krishna Katha is compulsory for the Rajarshi. Yes. Why he is called Rajarshi? Because of Krishna Katha. So, of course, Srila Prabhupada is talking about practically, right? If somebody is the head of government, if he's a king, it is essential how he is going to lead people unless he has the right direction in life. So, yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tad evetaro jana. Whatever a great man does, common man will follow. So it is important. Great man means one who is in power, who is in the position of a leader. If he is doing the right thing, then half the work is done. People will just simply follow those who are leaders. Just like, when children are very small, they simply copy the parents. The parent bows down before the deity, children also go and bow down before the deity. Like that. They bow down before sadhus, then the father bows down, then children also go and bow down. That means what a great man does, common men follow. What a leader does, common men follow. So therefore it is important that the leader must hear Krishna Katha. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam, Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. Right? Rajarshi is, how one is Rajarshi? Raja is different from Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he's actually a sadhu. He's a king, but he's a sadhu. But what is the current situation? The kingdom, the power, government power is in the hands of Shudras. They don't have, what to speak of Krishna Katha, they don't even follow Dharma properly. Right? So, Kali Yuga, society is degraded. How to revive this society again? The only solution is Krishna Katha. First of all, this Krishna Katha must be understood by the leaders, heads of state. If they don't accept it, how common people will be happy and gain relief from materialistic life, right? Instead of objecting to people's hearing Krishna Katha, they should be the ones who are actually first sitting in the first row, hearing Krishna Katha, setting the right example. Then you will actually see a change in the whole society. That's why to establish this a Vedic life, and even Krishna conscious society, we need a good leader, right? A Krishna conscious leader or a Rajarshi, a Kshatriya, a proper Kshatriya. He can establish. One who has fixed his mind in Krishna consciousness should be understood to have very sharp intelligence in regard to the value of life. Maharaj Parikshit was Rajarshi Sattama. So why he is Rajarshi Sattama? Sukadev Goswami is Muni Sattama, Parikshit Maharaj is Rajarshi Sattama. Both of them are elevated because both are interested in Krishna Katha. One is speaking, the other one is hearing. The exalted position of speaker and the audience will be explained very nicely in the next verse. Krishna Katha is so enlivening that Maharaj Parikshit forgot everything material, even his personal comfort that we saw in the previous. He is not even concerned of that he's hungry or thirsty. It's not even bothering him because he's drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha. This is the example of how the Krishna consciousness movement should spread all over the world to bring both the speaker and the audience to the transcendental platform and back home, back to Godhead. So, with that conviction, if we simply, first of all, in several verses, previously also we read, right? Just speak Krishna Katha as it is, without any concoction, and live the life of a devotee in personal practices, and then simply speak Krishna Katha. And of course, what you will speak if you don't hear? You hear Krishna Katha and then you speak. And by this, allow the people to hear Krishna Katha. Because really it is this Krishna Katha which is going to cleanse us, which is going to elevate us, elevate our consciousness. Remove all miseries, that's a side product, right? All material miseries will be gone. But our love for Krishna will develop simply by this Krishna Katha. So how the speaker, the listener and everyone else, how they are going to be benefited, that we will read tomorrow. Now let's read Bhagavad Gita. So Inya read, Inba didn't read. Tomorrow Inba will read, Jai Ganesh Prabhu will read, and If Jai Shri Mataji is there, Mataji will read. Okay, let's read Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2. Yesterday we read Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya. Did we complete the purport? Yeah, we completed because it's text 15. Please repeat. Yam hina vyathayantyete purusham purusharshabha samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Okay? One who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is eligible for liberation. You remember the previous verse? Happiness and distress are like winter and summer seasons. They're coming and going. You cannot stop them, right? You cannot stop. Don't waste your energy in trying to become, making when it is hot, trying to become cool, when it is cold, trying to become warm, right? Of course, Srila Prabhupada didn't say that you shouldn't try, but not at the expense of not doing your dharma. The best thing is tolerate it. And tolerate it means let that difficulty, either happiness or distress, let that not obstruct your dharma, your performance of your dharma. So that there we saw the example of a woman cooking in the kitchen in the summer, or a religious person taking cold bath in the morning in the winter. It is difficult, but nevertheless they do it. That difficulty, they don't allow that difficulty to stop them from doing their dharma, carrying out their dharma. That's what we said. That means when you're happy or when you're distressed, turn it off. When you're happy or when you're distressed, when you're happy or you're distressed, if you're not affected by that, right, you tolerate. And what do you mean by tolerate? Tolerate means you continue with your dharma. Don't give up your dharma because of happiness and distress. Put it in context with Arjun's situation. His duty was as a Kshatriya to fight, but because of distress of losing his dear ones, he didn't want to do his duty. That's not correct, Krishna is saying. That's not correct. You cannot give up your duty because it's by performing that duty you're going to experience some distress. Similarly, happiness also. Uh, Now you are so much you're enjoying that moment, that time, and you have to do your duty, and you just postpone it because you don't want to uh, discontinue that enjoyment or happiness that you're experiencing. Duty is coming in the way, so postpone your duty. No, whether it is happiness or distress, tolerate it. While tolerating it, continue your duty. What is the result of this? Somritatvaya kalpate. Such a person will get amrita. What is amrita? Amrita means death. Amrita means deathlessness. So ultimately, ultimately it means liberation. If you continue your dharma, now recently I was listening, Srila Prabhupada says, dharma means karma. Karma, dharma, interchangeably you can use. We say karmis, right? Actually, karmi means anyone you see on the street, we say he's a karmi. No, karmi is not such a cheap term. Karmi also has, it's a big position to be a karmi. Karmi means one who does karma. Karma means dharma. Dharma means prescribed duties. And Srila Prabhupada quotes Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So the duties prescribed by Shastra to human beings, to men, according to their nature, guna and karma. What are they? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. That's three dharma. All these karmas are prescribed. One who is very strictly following the dharma which is given in Shastra, he is doing those karmas. And of course, he is doing those karmas for what? Now, doing the activity is one thing. The goal is also important. Karmi means he is a fruitive worker. He will follow very strictly and do his prescribed duties, but in the end he wants some material result. He wants some material result. Either going to heaven or getting a high birth, or in this life also, nice, you live without any, you don't want to be poverty stricken. You want to be a king, right? You want to be famous. You want to become like that. You want to have children. You want to have a nice family, so on and so forth. Such desires. And to fulfill those desires, he follows the duties that are prescribed in the scriptures very nicely, strictly. This is a karmi. How much qualification? So, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they can all be karmis. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. They can be karmis. If the goal of the karma that they're doing, if the goal is a material result, then he is a karmi. Right? So if you do your karma, tolerating, then why you should do your karma? If you are expecting a material result, then you have used up. You have done your dharma, your karma properly. You have been obediently following the scripture, and now you, by following that scripture, you'll get some result. And you are specifying, I want this result. I want to come first in class, or I want to be the president of my country, something like that. And you do your karmas very nicely, either in this life or next life or after 10 lives. When you fulfill all the conditions, then you'll get that result. Whatever your intense desire is, according to that, if you do karma, you'll get it. But you have used up. But then here comes nishkama karma. So when you are expecting a material result, sakama karma, then you're called karmi. By doing that karma, you are using up the result. Finished. Kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. Once again you start with zero. Come back to this world of birth and death. And again you start fresh. Again you do karma. So you are not getting any liberation by simply doing karma. If by doing that karma you are expecting a material result, you will simply be going round and round in the cycle of, like a Ferris wheel. You go to higher planets, after you use up everything, you come down. Again you go higher. You do good karma, you go up, come down. This is going on. Now nishkama karma means there also you have to do your duty. Nishkama karma does not mean you give up your duty. No. There is a very important purpose of this dharma. When you follow your dharma, prescribed dharma as given in the scripture, and nishkama, you don't want any result for what you're doing. You don't want. Then all the dharma that you're doing, it will give you some result. It has to give you some result. You're not taking material result, then you'll get spiritual result. If you don't take, just like people giving charity, right? Many families, pious families, they feed birds, like generations after generations. They buy grain and they just keep it outside, or they every morning they go and feed birds. It's actually a pious activity. Or Traditionally some wealthy zamindars, every day they would give charity to people. People would stand in line outside their home, or they would give cows in charity. In olden days, they would give land in charity, feed the brahmanas, right? All these are pious activities. So by these pious activities, you are accumulating pious credits. So it depends on how you want to use it. You want, and by doing all that, if you are maintaining this desire, uh, so in my next life also I will be wealthy. That's what you get. But if after doing all that you don't want any result, you're doing all that, but you don't want any result, then what that does is it purifies your heart. Purifies your heart means now we are in the modes of passion and ignorance primarily. By purification of the heart, passion and ignorance reduce and you come to the mode of goodness. When you are in the modes of passion and ignorance, what's your understanding? I am this body, and anything and anyone related to this body is mine, right? So I am this body and this house is mine. I am this body and this is my wife and this is my husband. These are my children. These are my parents. This is my community. This is my country. Like that. This is passion and ignorance. But if you do karma, karma means dharma, given according to scriptural injunctions. When you do your dharma and you don't expect any material result, you give off the result back to Krishna. You don't take any result, but you very strictly adhere to your dharma. The result of that is passion and ignorance will come down. You come to the mode of goodness. Then you may ask, what will happen if you're in goodness? When you're in goodness, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, you get knowledge. What is that knowledge? Knowledge is I am not this body. You will see I am not this body. So your activities will not be so therefore you won't find lust, greed, cheating, envy. These things will not be found when one is in the mode of goodness. These things will be found when one is in the mode of passion and ignorance. So if you do nishkama karma, that means you're doing karma according to scriptural injunctions. That means Vaishyas means they will do agriculture, trade, cow protection. Brahmanas means patan, they will study Shastra, they will teach others about Shastra, they will worship, and they will teach others how to worship, or they will worship for others, perform samskaras, and they will accept charity and they'll give in charity. And Kshatriyas, they protect people, right? They rule, they are landlords, they protect people and collect taxes. Shudras, all other duties, they assist others, like laborers, they work in the fields, they work under Kshatriyas as soldiers, they can assist. So Shudras are assisting all other three classes. But when one adheres to his duties strictly, as per scriptural prescribed duties, when he adheres to them without taking any result, that is important. Then by doing that, he will come to the platform of goodness. Simply by doing his duties, he will naturally realize, I am not this body. I am a spirit soul. So his activities will be on that platform. There is no question of cheating. There is no question of envy, jealousy. Because if you are on the platform, understand that I am not this body. Why will someone try to cheat others? Isn't it? So therefore, following dharma is very important. So even a few generations ago, our ancestors, you will see they adhered to dharma. Even now you see some remnants in the older people, isn't it? To some extent our parents and even more our grandparents and their parents. Adhering to dharma. They may not be like, full-time dedicated devotees, but they are, they respect, not just respect, they follow scriptural guidelines. They follow their dharma. By doing that, of course, the result will be you will not act on it. Of course, the condition is nishkama. So by following dharma, if you are expecting, oh, I should get wealth and I should get beauty and all that, that's what you get. Then you are not getting purification of heart. You are not coming to mode of goodness because you are using up the result. Then you will simply get your material result. But if you don't accept any material result, you are not hankering for any material progress, but you strictly do your dharma, then. So, this verse is saying, Yamina, previous verse said simply tolerate, right? Whatever, in the course of performing your duty, whatever difficulties or happiness comes, tolerate, but don't stop your duty, continue doing your duty. That's what was said in the previous verse. What is the result of that is being said here. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress is not disturbed and is steady. Steady in what? In his duties, in his dharma, and is steady in both. Right? Whether happiness or distress, he will be steady in his dharma. He is certainly eligible for liberation. I'll quickly read the purport. Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. In the Varnashram institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order sannyas, is a painstaking situation. But one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever family relationships, to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Similarly, in Arjun's discharge of duty, so sannyasis duties are different. If sannyasi does his duty and tolerates the difficulty of being separated from family, he will make progress. In Arjun's case, similarly, in Arjun's discharge of duties as a Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere, even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons, right? To continue with your duty. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24, and his dependents, who are his dependents? Young wife, she was like 14 years old, 14, 16 years old. A young wife as well as old mother, widow, with no other sons. These were his dependents, and he took sannyas at the age of 24. They, his dependents, had no one else to look after them except for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yet, for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. Okay, let's read Srila Prabhupada's Leela Amrita. Yes. Leela Amrita, Srila Prabhupada's Leela Amrita. So now Srila Prabhupada is staying in Carl Jurgen's apartment. Carl felt that the creative group who came to see the Swami in his studio were all quick to enter into the mood of the Kirtan, but they were using it in their own ways to supplement their own private visions and ecstasies. So they were using Kirtan to get their hallucinations with no real intention of adopting the disciplines or the undivided worship of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada was their first real contact with the spiritual person, and yet, even without trying to understand, they became absorbed in his kirtans and in what he had to say. Carl would invite them, hey, come on, this is genuine, this is real, you'll like it, it's music, it's dance, it's celebration. Carl saw that people just felt good being in the Swami's presence and meditating on the chanting and eating the Swami's cooking. It was unlike anything they had experienced before, except maybe for their moments of creative insight. So we'll stop there. Thank you all, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Wish you all, especially the disciples of His Holiness Jabataksar Maharaj, wish you all a happy Vyas Puja celebration. Hare Krishna. So we'll end the session here. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.